Raindrops, this is a very special recap of Traders with Dustin Ross and Carlos King because baby, us Mitch and Ganders got the Queen of Detroit, not Aretha Franklin, rest in peace. Diana Ross, we love you too, sister. However, we got the Tiffany Mitchell joining us to recap the blackout of the
That's right. Real Black History. First of all, happy Black
Period.
History Month to you because you are literal Black History, first Black winner, Big Brother.
I didn't
Said that
win. I
thing,
didn't
or
win, big brother. I didn't win.
well, whatever the
He don't
fuck.
care.
You know
I
what
don't care.
I'm saying? You started that damn
the
alliance, so you
cookout.
got it
Yeah,
popping. So
I
you're the
did.
first one.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Happy Black History Month.
Thank you. Happy Black History Month, you kings. I
Yes.
appreciate you having me. I thank you for blessing me with your presence, allowing me to be in here in this time. And I love the way we all showed up, like, in
Yes.
true formation, in sync.
That's right.
Yes, yes, we're all Michiganders. And listen, before we get into what happened this episode,
Hmm.
um, Tiffany, we just got to get into you and all the things, sis. I mean, I didn't watch Big Brother a lot.
Hmm.
Obviously, I'm aware of who you are and I'm
Oh,
aware of what you brought to that show. Honey Bunny Pudding Pie Traders. Listen, Dustin and I were talking about it while you were on, and it's funny. I said, "Baby, that Tiffany
Yep.
is going to go places." But before we get to all that,
just not in the castle.
ah,
She gonna go somewhere. When she leave, when she leave.
you are a star.
Yes.
You're a star, and this is coming from the king of reality television. You are meant to be on television for the rest of your life.
Hmm.
And your
Oh,
appearance on Trader solidified that. What was it like being a part of the castle, and were you a fan of Traders before you got on the show?
Oh, Traitors was one of my favorite shows. Immediately, season one, I started watching. I was podcasting about it. Cody from Big Brother was my friend. We had started a podcast. Well, I was on their podcast before. So when he went on, I was just all in. And I've just been such a huge fan of the Traitors. It started getting so big. The notoriety of the show was just gaining momentum that by the time season three was over, I was like, oh, well, they're not gonna call me. I'm not that big of a person. They're looking for these big, gigantic names, these people. I underestimated myself, I guess. I
Hmm.
didn't think that I was going to get this call seriously. And so when I got the email, I thought it was fake. I said, somebody is playing in my face and is disrespectful. These fans do not have to find my email and be playing with me. It was real, and I was like, oh my god, this is it. My son was a senior. I was kind of not wanting anybody to call me to do a show because I didn't want to distract from the focus I had on trying to get him through high school and off to college, but the timing couldn't have been better. I left for Scotland 3 days after my son graduated from high school, so it was like,
Wow.
okay, you graduated, you on your own now, bye, I gotta go. And I left him at home by himself while I went to go film in Scotland. But he's gotten used to it. The first time I left him, he was going into the ninth grade, and so he had to start ninth grade without me. So it's kind of he's independent, he knows the lifestyle. I always tried to raise him to be able to be without me because one day he may have to be, hopefully not soon. But it was great. It was great. I was a little disadvantaged because I don't know if you know, but I don't watch a lot of these shows. So I was
Mhm.
like, I knew Candiace, I knew Portia, I knew my gamers, but listen, they were like, "That's Donna Kelsey." I said, "Okay, who's that?"
Hmm.
Look,
Hmm.
look, look. Me too.
Hmm. Hmm. Whose
Because when they
glasses?
said, me
And
and
who?
Dustin will talk about this, when they said America's Mom, I said, I don't see Claire Huxtable.
Who's
I don't
mom?
think Tina knows.
Right.
I said, "Who's mom?" The
You,
football player. I said, "Oh, okay, all right, make it make sense. All righty then."
Hmm.
But I didn't know. But I was excited. I was excited to be there. I'm a Leo. I came with this crown, how it's already ready already. I don't know. So I'm just grand, being in a castle, being in Scotland, riding on a throne. I was in heaven, baby. I have dreamed of things like this.
Yeah.
Aw. Go ahead, Dustin.
Well, you were made for this, Tiffany. Me and Carlos have had several conversations, literally at length, about your preparedness. You know what I'm saying? For the intensity of the round table, those discussions, what you did on your way out, but what you did, okay? And the way that you handled that was remarkable. So, talk to us about how you were so prepared to have a battle of wits off the dome like that, just able to like defend yourself in the pocket because honestly, we haven't seen the best performances from some people who we had hoped to see them from at that round table thus far. But you were a knockout. So how did you know how to cuss their ass out like that at that round table, Tiffany? Talk to me
Hey,
about that process.
you see that hat you wearing?
Okay, say enough said.
That
Enough
it
said.
says everything. I'm straight from the D, baby. If you can make it out Detroit, and if you can make it in Detroit, you can make it
Yep.
anywhere. We ain't scared of nobody, and we ain't impressed by nobody neither. So when
Yep.
you come, be sure you come correct because we stay ready. I had no idea I was going to need to have an arsenal ready at that round table. I wasn't thinking that I was even remotely that in jeopardy. I
Hmm.
I had kind of briefly heard Colton floated my name, but when you're not guilty of something, it's like take me to jail so I get my commissary so I can get on
Hmm.
up out of here because I know I ain't did it. But
Hmm.
it's people locked up that's innocent.
Hmm. Yes, it
So
is.
I'm like, this not about to be nothing. But I was when Colton kind of came at me like he did, it was more offensive than anything. Like he tried to talk to me like I was like a shady, shisty, dirty individual. Like,
Right.
yeah, you killed your best friends. You did, and I understand that is the name of the game, but I'm just like, first of all, I didn't do any of those things. You don't know me to know what I would do, and I wouldn't do that. And I was just offended. So, you can't come from my character. You can come from
Yep.
my game, but you can't come from my character. Then I kind of forgot we was at the round table. I was like, say what? You
But no,
talking
but
about?
that's what made all of us love you because again, listen, I'm a new trader watcher.
Okay.
So I'm watching this season and Dustin gave me a heads up like Los, the round table is where the action is. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
housewives connoisseur
Mm-hmm.
working on the show for shit, 10 years. So I'm all about a dinner scene because dinner scenes are when the girls
Where go
clock
down?
in.
Yeah.
But the round table, honey, on traders is where you all clock in and you gave a Nene Leak style
Yes, you did.
read where when they said spell Tiffany Tiffany like the box babe, I mean like the block, like the
Like the
The
company,
company.
company. Hmm.
like the
Like
company,
you
and
see
and
them
I see
boxes
it,
back there.
Yep.
They real.
Yeah.
Like the
and I
company. Who
me
spelled
and
Tiffany
Dustin,
with one F? What fool
Right.
you walking around talking to? Who you playing with? You trying to
Hmm.
come for me. You know
Hmm.
damn well how my name is spelled.
Hmm. And he knew exactly what he was doing. That's why we were so glad you shut that shit down so swiftly and so succinctly. I want to talk about some things that we don't know about on camera, right? Off
Mm,
that we didn't see on camera,
yeah.
rather. Like who let's Michael Rapaport, the Michael Rapaport of it all, right? What was the experience like for real, living with him? Was his breath bad? What was the like what was the because we have assumptions, right? But we would
okay.
like some
Dustin
confirmation
has
from you.
assumptions.
He looks like there would be a rancid stench attached to him as well as his behavior. And so and while we're at it, right? That damn Eric who thought that he heard your footsteps. He need to
No,
play he loved
No,
music
the
so much.
laugh.
he heard my
Or the
laugh.
laugh, excuse me, the laugh. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Yeah, that right there really burned me up,
I
to say
know
the
with the
least.
Lamborghini ears.
Oh yeah,
I ain't
baby,
gonna
they
never
go
live
up,
that down. And then I didn't
Tiffany.
even know his ears were so big until you said you talking about them big ass ears. I said, wait a
Yeah.
minute, pause the show. Let me go pull up this dude's ears. I didn't realize they was like, little doors on the side of his head. I said, okay.
Extraordinary.
They just big
Extraordinary.
for nothing. I hate a
Yeah.
big for nothing. What you
Yeah.
big for?
Yeah. Talking about I do music. I know what I heard. No, you don't. And then only to turn around and do it a damn again
Again,
this week. Do it
again.
again. I know this handwriting. No, you don't. But anywho,
Can't
talk to
see
us
or hear.
about, yeah, the Michael Rapaport of it all,
Okay.
because I know our time is limited. I don't want to,
We listen, our time,
yeah.
time is limitless. So I did not know. I knew Michael Rapaport looked familiar. I couldn't remember I knew him from. I'm like, I think he's an actor, but
Hmm.
I don't keep up with each individual's politics, religions, their beliefs, where they stand on these things. I've been raising a son. I
Yeah.
don't care about
Yeah.
nobody else and what they do if it ain't benefiting over here. So when we got in, I remember when we picked our boxes and everything, when we were walking off the steps, he looked at me and kind of gave me this nod. Now, when anytime I walk into a house or a game, I'm trying to assess who's receptive towards me. if
Hmm.
you're open to me, if you won't make eye contact, but if you reach out, you shake my hand, you give me a nod. He was somebody that kind of gave me a nod, like he saw me, like I will work with you. And I'm like, okay, so I'm just trying to keep these things in my pocket. Well, when he started, when Alan picked the traitors, and then Michael just he took his veil off and was like, all right, now it's time to play. You doing this, you doing that. I was like, oh, he is coming at people's heads. I'm tired of all these, I'm tired of the nice stuff. We just gotta play, we just gotta roll, we gotta go. I was not mad at that because it was kind of moving slow. And I'm a gamer.
Okay.
Like, let's get
Okay.
this show on the road. I was glad somebody else was doing it and it's not me. I like to be in the back seat. Let me
Hmm.
just make sure you don't have no accidents with me in the car.
Hmm.
But I'm a good passenger. And so but when he got to being a more vocal where I could tell people were being bothered by him, my connection to him wasn't to be his friend. It was kind of like, hey, dude, I come from the reality TV where I know how these fans can be. I know what your edit can be. You might want to channel it down just a little bit. I just cared enough that I didn't want anybody really to have that type of experience. And I'm thinking maybe you don't know, but I do. I grew up on live feeds. We were
Yeah.
watched 24/7. So I'm generally cautious of my behavior. That's kind of how our relationship developed. Was everybody else was like, ill, ill, ill. And I'm like, I ain't gonna do that. Hey, come on, get up under my wing and let me just say shh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Because
But
I
you
Because
might
you
be
didn't
able to
shut
like
use
up.
you
because you
to make some
appreciated
noise.
the approach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing I will say to piggyback off of Dustin, I do want to know a lot, not a lot, but some about like the process because when I'm watching the show, even in last night's episode, when the roundtable starts, I'm a reality producer, so I come from the school of these are force multipliers, so we're not waiting around for somebody to talk. And I do feel like it was a slow burn to even get people to speak up at these roundtables. So
That's
talk to
real.
me. How was the round? Is it as nervous and nerve
Yes.
wracking? And
That
nobody wants to talk first.
no, no, that's real. That's real because